Here's what you'll need to get started. 2-inch standard masking tape, isopropyl alcohol, and cotton rag. 2-inch blue painter's tape, small flathead screwdriver, sharpened paint stick, 11mm or 7/16 deep socket and ratchet, 26 quarters. Here's a list of the hardware included with your taillights. Kit instructions: 8 inches of wire loom, left and right wire extensions, 13 inches of 1/4 inch double-sided tape, 70 inches of 1/2 inch double-sided tape, 10 black zip ties, 8 washers, driver's side light, passenger side light, and center section. First, mask off the area surrounding the rear trunk emblem with blue painter's tape. Now, use a sharpened paint stick to loosen the emblem. Start on one side and work clockwise. Next, remove any remaining double-sided tape. Then clean area thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol and a clean rag. Remove your interior trunk panels by removing the trim retainers as shown. You may need to use a flathead screwdriver to loosen the retainers. Now, remove your taillights using the 11mm or 7/16 socket. Be sure to retain the 11mm nuts. They will be reused to install your new CERVINI lights. Remove the rubber trim from your factory lights. Now, reinstall trim on your CERVINI LED taillights. Now, run wiring harnesses through the hole in the rear body panel. Pull tightly until the seal seats into place. The seal must be secure so water does not leak into your trunk. Install your driver and passenger side CERVINI LED taillights. We use the 11mm nuts to fasten the lights. Push the taillights inward and hold while tightening the nuts simultaneously. Place the trunk panel down on a clean towel to protect the finish. Apply 1/2 inch double-sided tape to the bottom and the sides of the trunk panel, as shown. Leave a 1-inch space at the bottom of the trunk panel. This is to allow for proper drainage. Apply 1/2 inch double-sided tape to the top of the trunk filler, leaving it 1/4 inch away from the top edge. Clean the perimeter with isopropyl alcohol where the double-sided tape will make contact. Do not remove tape backing at this time. Remove the plastic panel covering the latch area on your trunk. While holding the light panel away from the trunk, insert the wires into the trunk, feeding them upwards towards the third brake light. Insert rubber grommets. The seal must be secure so water does not leak into your trunk. Now, we're going to temporarily mount the trunk panel to the trunk using 2-inch masking tape. Set the panel evenly from left to right, and then flush with the bottom edge of the trunk. Wrap a piece of standard masking tape tightly as shown. Install the wire loom provided in your hardware pack in order to protect wires from any sharp edges. Route the 2 tail light wire extensions along the factory third brake light wiring using provided black zip ties. Wire extensions are labeled driver and passenger sides. Now run the remainder of the wire extensions behind the passenger interior trunk panel and continue along the rear body panel to the light housing. Make sure all wiring connections are made and close the trunk slowly. At this time, light functions can be tested. The vehicle must be running in order to test the lights properly. Test all light functions such as braking, left, right, reverse, parking, and hazard. If any of the light functions are not working properly, contact CERVINI'S at 1-800-488-6057. For this step, you'll need 26 quarters. They will be used to gauge the gap spacing. Make 2 stacks of 5 quarters and 4 stacks of 4 quarters. Place both of the 5-quarter stacks on the bumper where the lights meet. Tape the stacks to the rear bumper using 1 piece of masking tape. Now tape 4 quarters together using only 1 piece of masking tape. Repeat this step for the remaining quarters. Place the 4-quarter stacks between the light panels as shown above. The ambient temperature must be 75 degrees or greater. Do not remove the double-sided tape at this time. Grab a buddy. You might need a hand with the step. Pull the trunk panel away from the car slightly. Once again, clean the perimeter of the trunk panel with isopropyl alcohol in the areas where the double-sided tape will make contact. Now peel back approximately 2 inches of the double-sided tape from each corner as shown. Use a small piece of masking tape to hold the tape backing on the front surface. With the top of the trunk panel tilted away so the tape will not make contact, Set the bottom of the trunk panel on the 2 stacks of 5/4 taped to the rear bumper. Now check the gap between the trunk panel and the driver and passenger lights with the 4/4 stacks. If the center trunk panel needs to be adjusted, do so now while the double-sided tape has only made light contact. When you are satisfied with the trunk panel position, remove the remainder of the double-sided tape backing and firmly press the trunk panel in place. Continue to keep the car at 75 degrees or greater and do not drive the vehicle for 24 hours after installation. This allows the double-sided tape time to cure without vibration. If this is not followed properly, the taillight panel will not adhere correctly. Check for alignment between the trunk panel and driver and passenger side taillights. You can tilt the passenger and driver light housing up, down, and left and right by adding or removing up to 3 washers per stud. By adding spacers to the top inward stud, you will open the gap between the trunk filler and the light housing. You will also tilt the top of the housing away from the vehicle. By adding spacers to the top outward stud, you will tilt the light housing away from the car and tighten the gap between the trunk section and the housing. By adding a spacer to the bottom stud, you will pull the housing away from the car. After you are satisfied with the gap spacing and alignment, clean the back of the trunk emblem with isopropyl alcohol. Now apply 1/4" double-sided tape to the back of the emblem. Align emblem with keyhole and apply to the trunk panel. You have now successfully installed your CERVINI'S 05 to 09 Mustang taillight conversion kit.